Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie. Well, it's time to put the rest of those queens in these mating boxes here. These mating boxes I made probably 5 or 6 years ago, or at least. And they're a 2-frame mating box. And they have, there's the inside, there's ventilation holes in the bottom. I've made a migratory lid with a about a 3/8 shim. And it has a little door here, and the opening is about a 1/2 inch wide and 3/8 of an inch tall. About 2 bees can get in and out. Good for, you know, letting the bees being able to guard themselves since it's a very small hive. The lid does have a hole in the top, and what I do is I put a pint jar like that on top with a feeder lid on top of it. Now, a lot of times when it's really hot and sunny, you know, the vacuum will get messed up going from a very hot day to a colder night. So what I designed is a cover. It's got these little ears on the side. It fits over top of the jar, and then these ears on the side here go past the lid and down the sides of this 2-frame mating box, which helps to hold on the lid from, and it also helps this box from blowing off if there happens to be a wind gust or a wind storm and everything. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take you over here to some of these demery hives, grab some emerging brood frame and maybe an open brood frame and put into this box with nurse bees, and then I'm going to bring it back over here. I think I'll lock the front door up here for a day or two, and I'm going to go ahead and release the remaining virgin queens that I've made for this week. So let's go over here and grab some brood. All right, we're here at the demery hives. I've got 4 of my 2-frame mating boxes here set up to ready to be populated with at least a frame of emerging brood along with nurse bees, and then I'll find a frame that's mostly open comb for the new virgin. Once she gets back and mated, she'll have a place to lay. So I'm going to go ahead and populate these hives with a little bit of emerging brood along with nurse bees. And I'm going to have to go around and gather some nurse bees and basically pour them in, kind of get the population up. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the lids on while I'm hunting the open brood frames. And then we'll take these back to the rack where these are usually sitting, the mating rack, and then I'll show you me releasing the queens out of the candy cages directly into these hives. Now they'll stay in these hives for about 4 or 5 days. The exoskeleton will harden, her ovaries will mature, and her wings will dry and get hard so they can go and fly. And then she'll leave the 2-frame mating box and go ahead and get mated and come back. So that will take about a 2-week period. So let's, I'll take and get these hives completely populated, and then we'll get back to the mating rack where these will stay. All right, I've got the extra frame and all these 2-frame mating boxes installed. There is some bees in these boxes. I'm going to put more nurse bees in there. Just wanted to show you. I've got a couple pounds of nurse bees here, and I'm going to take this pint jar, hopefully it will work, and I'm going to scoop up some bees and dump in each one of these 2-frame mating boxes. So here we go. The wind sure is a-blowing today. I don't know why it's so windy. And I'm putting the juice jars on with the feeder lids on. Hopefully everybody can see this. Once you get these things established, then the bees will just kind of, it'll be basically a miniature beehive, and the brood will kind of be self-sustainable and all. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the cell builder, grab the caged queens in the JZBZ candy cages. I'll be back, and then we'll go ahead and release these queens into these 2-frame mating boxes. Alright, here I'm back. I've got the JZBZ bar here with, I've got actually 6 queens here. One of them is going to go back, and I'll put it in an actually 10-frame production hive. The other 5 will go into these mating boxes here. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring you up a little closer. Hopefully you can see them. I'm not going to take the lids off. I don't want the bees to fly out if they do. And what I will do is try to release these, just kind of open up the cage. Oh, and there's the hole where the juice jar is, and let her walk on down in there, and then cover the hole back up with the juice jar, and then go ahead and put my protective covers over the jar to keep the jar from either blowing or getting fluctuations in the vacuum, where when it gets cold and hot, it releases more sugar water into the hive instead of just droplets as the bees need it. So let me go ahead and bring you on up a little closer. All right, I've got you up close. I'm going to take and pop the cork on the JZBZ cage here, and I'm going to open it up. And she just went in. And off over here, we're going to go ahead and get to the next box. See if I can get here and get another queen. Knock off the attendants. They're on the outside. Doesn't look like this queen is alive. Not really sure, but Yep, she isn't alive. So that's the problem raising queens. You think you got something and something happens like that. So we'll take and brush these attendants off. Come on. And we got a nice live queen there. Come on. There she is. And she just went walking down through there. I know it's probably hard for you to see. Oh, we got the next cage here. I'm going to go ahead and shift the camera up a little bit. Since I've lost one of my queens and I need one for the main hive, this last white box here has a really good population of nurse bees. So I am going to utilize this hive for one of the queens. And there she goes, on down in there. And we have one more here that we have to utilize. And she's alive, for sure. And she's a real dark queen. Okay. Let me go ahead and reposition the camera here for you. All right, we've got we have actually 4 hives here that have the queens in them. I've got this one left. I'm going to go ahead and drop it into a 10-frame mating box, and that'll probably end it for me for the day. It's been a long day. So until next time, please like. Well, that's the winds a-blowing. Almost blew my tripod over. So until next time, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell, share my videos with your friends, and have fun with your bees.